Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Good to see everybody. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for some people to hop in here. Got a lawsuit update to go over for Easley, South Carolina, for those of you that have been watching me a while. Good, Robert. Good to see you, buddy. Justin, good to see you. Brooklyn Bala. I am still retired, brother. As far as, and I'm not really retired. I still get out there here and there, but for the most part, yeah, I'm retired. I got, I think, another 6 months, and I should be working again full time. Sup, Snap? Frank, Claudette, Jugs, what's up? John D, John Eagle, West Central, Edmund, Anthony, Lou. Good to see you, Lou, buddy. You know what, Lou? I gotta see if I can get on my YouTube here on my phone real quick, because when I got hacked, for those of you that don't know, I got hacked like a week or two ago, and they took down my channel for like a week. And when they did that, they booted all my videos, but they also booted all my mods. So I did a premiere a couple of days ago, and I was remaking some mods. I didn't see Lou, so I just seen him in the comments now. I think I missed Snap too. So yeah, Claudette, you're always here. I love you, hon. If I can get my damn phone to work to bring up my video here so I can do it, because you can't do it through StreamYards. You have to do it through the regular YouTube chat. So I'll try that while that's working. We got 80 people in here, 3 minutes. Don't forget Mitchell. Yeah, guys, let me hey, Sci-Fi, good to see you, brother. Let me get this thing working, and I don't understand why my phone's acting janky today. It's literally on the same Wi-Fi. But once I get that up and running, I'll make you guys mods again that were mods before. I just don't understand. And forgive me for the non-technical savvy. Okay, so I got that working. Let me see. Okay, there's Brandon Mitchell. Where's Snap Phase? Wrong one. Because I liked having all my mods. All my mods were good folks. I think everybody else got along with all my mods, so that's cool. Okay, so I think I got everybody back to where they were. All right, guys. What's up, Founding Fathers? Sly, always good to see you, Sly. Frank, same. Toe. Up there's my boy, Ordinary County. I didn't see him up in there. Um, all right, so yeah, Audine, you're back in there. It looks like you should be. And I got the link here if anybody wants to come up. It's going to be a pretty chill stream. I do have the update that I'll go ahead and share screen here now, so we'll get that over with, and then we could just talk and shoot the shit and do some other stuff, talk about some other stuff. Maybe you guys have stuff that you want to talk about in the community or in whatever. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Can everybody see that? Let me know if everybody can see that. What's up, Big Mike? New Hampshire girl, 7 cities. BJ, yep, you can see that, BJ. DJ, you can see that too. Okay, good. All right, Sci-Fi. Hold on, I'm gonna add John up there, brother. But I'm gonna read some of this real quick so we can get this out of the way. This is for me, obviously George Metz. You guys know me. City of Easley, South Carolina. Now, this is the city in Easley that me and uh, Upstate SC News, who also went by Officer Safety, and he had another channel too. I can't remember what the other channel was, but we went up there a couple times. It was a few years back. They gave us a hassle. They played the loud music in the lobby for the city hall, trying to get us to stop, and they got kind of mad because I sang along with it. So they ended up passing that ordinance that said we couldn't record in the public buildings there in Easley anymore. I don't know if everybody remembers that. We went to the city meetings. I told them that if they passed that ordinance that I would sue them. I had a notice of intent to sue with me. I did serve that on them the next day after they passed this ordinance. And after that, I ended up filing a lawsuit, which is what we're looking at here. This is actually the order from the district judge. So once they got the complaint, and sorry guys, I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at the chat, so I can't see anything going on in the chat right now. But once they got the complaint, they made a motion to dismiss, and the magistrate judge recommended that their motion to dismiss get denied. And this is the order from the district judge adopting the magistrate judge's order, Judge William Brown, adopting his report and recommendation that they do not dismiss the case and that the city's motion to dismiss gets denied. So he's going into like procedures and stuff here. It says that the magistrate only makes a recommendation to the court, that the court doesn't have to accept the recommendation, which is all yada yada. Nothing really important there. But at the end, it says, after considering the record in this case, the applicable law, and the report of the magistrate judge, the court finds no clear error and agrees with the recommendation of the magistrate judge. Accordingly, the motion to dismiss, or in the alternative for judgment, is denied. It is so ordered. And that's Judge Donald Coggins Jr. from South Carolina Federal District Court. This was just January 14th, 10 days ago when this came out. I've had it for a couple of days, but with the hack going on and everything, I wanted to wait until I got everything back up and running again. So that's the update on that, guys. We're going the Easley lawsuit. We are asking for $1 million in that case. We won't get anywhere near that. I'll be lucky to clear 5 or 10, I'm sure. The government never wants to pay out any settlement money unless it's to their buddies who were sexually harassed by the mayor or something, and then they'll get like $90 million or something stupid. But for us, they make us fight tooth and nail for it, and then hardly give us anything because what are rights really worth, right? To the government, nothing, absolutely nothing. So that being said, Bry, how you doing, big guy?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just wanted to rewind a little bit. You said you were hacked, and that was the reason.
Yeah, I was offline for like a week and a half, 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there was a whole bunch of crypto shit on my page for like a day. First
Okay.
they hacked me, my Gmail account, my Google account, because it's all connected. They hacked that. They hacked the YouTube, and
Okay.
I was thinking that they weren't gonna mess with my YouTube account because for the first day, everything on my channel was still the same. But the next
Hmm.
day, they took down all my videos and put up a whole bunch of crypto videos, and then just started live streaming this crypto stuff. And obviously, it was copyright protected stuff, and YouTube took the channel down the next day.
Okay.
And yeah,
Interesting.
I had to get with the YouTube support team on Twitter. Which, by the way, for any content creators out there, that's the only way you're going to get in touch with YouTube. I mean, I scoured the web for
I'm
contact
sorry, and you said
information.
you did it on Twitter,
Yeah,
or now it's X.
yeah, yeah. I could still call it Twitter
Okay.
because I'm an old bastard that doesn't change well. But
So, and how long did it seems like it took a while, but it seemed like they really did a good job and brought you right back. I mean,
yeah,
you're monetized and everything, right?
yeah, no, everything's back to the way it was right before it got hacked. I got my email back. I got my Google account. I got my AdSense
Mm-hmm.
account, my YouTube account. Everything was
Great.
all on all on the same account. So once they hacked that,
Oh,
now
yeah.
what I didn't get back was they got about $100 in crypto out of me in one of my crypto wallets, which I think they were crypto hackers,
Oh,
people looking for
wow.
crypto. Yeah, because
Really?
crypto season's starting to heat up. So
Is there some kind of a link with the YouTube and your crypto, or I mean, I might be stupid. I don't know.
no, I think they
Or
actually
you
got
think it's a separate hack?
no,
Maybe.
I think they got into my machine here somehow and got
Oh,
my password for my Google account,
okay.
my password for my crypto
All right.
wallet. I mean, there's 100 different ways that these
Okay.
guys could hack. They could have
Well,
set up some kind of key
let's talk
capture.
about security of our machines then. What would you recommend that we protect ourselves with so this doesn't happen to anybody else? Or are you not sure at this point? Because
Yeah, I mean, I'm unsure really.
my
Thank
best friend is an IT tech. He runs a whole school system in a small town. You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell me to run the free AVG, or you know what I mean. But he really, unless you really know what you're talking about and what you want to secure, it's kind of hard, isn't it?
it is, and the thing about it is, and what I told some people when they tried to tell me how to prevent a hack is, and this is straight up, if
Mm-hmm.
there's a hacker out there that wants in your system, he's going to get in your system. I mean, I'm no fucking DOD, and these guys hack the
Yeah.
DOD. You know what I mean? So like, whatever
Right.
fantasies that people have about some kind of security that you're going to find on
Yeah.
the internet, it's the same way that you're going to find security when you get pulled over by a cop. You know what I
It,
mean? If a cop,
it would probably be a hacker, that would know how to secure it, and only a hacker. And even, I mean,
well, even then you got
you're not a
better
government
hackers.
entity, so it's not that as difficult as it would be if you were. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're not talking about servers and big machines that try to get into. Somehow they got onto your machine, and that's just man. They got your crypto too.
Yeah, but it was only one wallet and it was a little bit. Now, they
Oh,
did
okay.
get into my Coinbase account. And what they did
Mhm.
there was because my Coinbase account is hooked to my bank account. So what they did there was they were buying crypto out of my bank account into my Coinbase account. But my Coinbase account wouldn't let them withdraw it to their account. So luckily I didn't lose any money there, but they hit me for like $400 like right off the bat, boom, and bought some like Bitcoin and then tried to move it to their account. And Coinbase, I have multiple layers on my Coinbase account, so they couldn't get through there, and so I was safe there. But yeah, they still ended up getting me for about $100. But yeah, I mean, if these
Excuse me.
guys want in the shit, I mean, they're gonna get in the shit. It might take them a little bit of time, and obviously, they're only gonna go for like
Yeah.
the more high profile people with wallets and stuff, because like somebody was saying, crypto's traceable, and for the most part that's true. Now there's obviously ways you can get around it, but for the most part all crypto's pretty much traceable.
Hmm.
um, but I mean, again, if you're in a third world country somewhere and you're hiding behind 20 VPNs, and you know what I mean, like they're not really worried about getting caught. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to trace them down? Then what? You think the CIA is going to go after them for your $100 or $500 or $5,000 of crypto? Fuck no. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, there's no
Yeah, it's kind of a like catch-22 or whatever.
right. It's like the movie Taken, like, oh, they stole my daughter. Yeah, the government doesn't care. You know what I mean? It's not like they're gonna send SEAL
Oh,
Team 6 over there to get your
that
daughter.
series taken with what was his name? Leslie Neil or not Leslie Nielsen, but what's his name?
Liam Nelson.
Liam Nelson. Yes, that series, everyone, I loved that.
I,
Um,
I
but you're but you're right. You got somebody that worked in the system that doesn't trust the system and always have your ears wide open. And man, it's a powerful message, right?
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that to let people know what was going on, and to clarify a little bit more. People know that I was just convicted in December, me and Foshin, for the Social Security Administration. We have filed our notices to appeal in that case. So that will go to a district court judge here in the Middle District of Florida to overlook. If for some reason we don't get the ruling that we're looking for there, then I will be appealing that up to the 11th Circuit, even if I have to do the appeal myself. Um, yes, 7 cities, the Halo
So,
law still requires an intent. There's still an intent. You have to have an intent there with that crime. Sorry,
so
Bryce, go ahead.
when you talk about these different circuits, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm probably one of them. What you're talking about, from going, you know, through the courts, what you're talking about, going.
Well, the federal circuits, obviously, each state has district courts, federal district courts, and
Right.
each circuit usually encompasses a couple of states. So, like in my circuit, it's the 11th Circuit, and that
Okay.
encompasses Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. So, when we have a district court case in one of the states, if you don't agree, well, it's not only if you don't agree, there's got to be errors and such, errors of law and such. But if you have, appealable claims there, then you can appeal that up to the 11th Circuit or whatever circuit that you're in, and then they could look over the the district court's ruling and see if there
Mm,
were mistakes made, and if so, then they could remand
okay.
it back to the district court with proper instructions on certain things like
So
that. But
so basically, what you're saying is you went to the highest. It's now gone up to the
no, it will go up, is what I'm saying. So
right.
um, the basic level that you have with the federal courts is the district court level, right? So in Florida, there's three district courts. There's Northern District Court, there's the Middle District, and there's the Southern District. So depending on what county you live in, which is all explained to you on the district court's website, it'll tell you these are the counties in the Middle District of Florida, right? Or these are the counties in the Southern District of Florida. So when you file a claim, usually it's in the district that you live in, or it's in the district where the incident happened, right? So like when I
Right.
went up to Dothan, Alabama, even though I lived in Florida, when I went up to Dothan, Alabama, and they violated my rights in Dothan, I had to file in Alabama District Court, right? Because that's where the
Gotcha.
incident took place, right? So and again, um, usually at the bottom level like that, there'll be a lot of magistrate judge that are handling, the
Mm.
cases or part of the cases. Now, a magistrate judge isn't a judge like an Article 3 judge, which is put into to judgeship for life, right?
Right, right.
So so
Yeah, it's kind of like a kangaroo court in a sense.
Well, it's more like a paralegal, right? So like the magistrate
Oh, yeah,
judge
yeah.
can do, certain things, but there's a district court judge that's over them, right? So like the recommendation that I just went through, the magistrate judge recommends to the district judge that they deny the city's motion to dismiss. Now the district judge isn't bound by what the magistrate judge says. He could look at everything and be like, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and allow the motion to dismiss because this and this and this, whatever reason." And then that's that, right? So when you have an issue with a magistrate judge's ruling, then you can appeal it to the district court judge, right? So
Okay.
in the Chris Cordova case for Social Security, when he got convicted, the same with me and Foshin, both of us and Chris, we were both convicted by a magistrate judge. So Chris appealed his, and that went
Hmm.
to the district court judge there in Colorado, and he got denied there as well. So his next step would be to appeal it to the circuit, 10th Circuit. I believe he's in the 10th Circuit out there in Colorado. And
Okay.
so if the district court judge in mine and Foshin case denies our appeal, then it would be up to us to then appeal that to the 11th Circuit. And then once
Okay.
that gets there, that's pretty much the final stopping point. You can always ask the Supreme Court to take a look at your case, but by no means are they under any obligation to take any case, right? They pick and choose whatever case they want, and they're under no obligation to look at your case. So if
Mhm.
you get to the 11th Circuit or the 10th Circuit and the ruling doesn't fall in your favor, the chances of you winning that case drop dramatically. At each level, it drops dramatically your chances of winning. So, and
Wow.
that's just being realistic. Um,
Okay.
Not
Well,
a
yeah,
lot of
that
appeals.
gives a whole better insight. I mean, you really broke it down and explained it very well. For somebody like me that really, you know, um, I was arrested. My case was dismissed, so I didn't really have to do much. I learned a lot along the way. I mean, about how they make you wait a good year before you even go to court, man. It's all about dragging you along through the court system. And now here you've been dealing with an appeal. So, um,
Oh yeah, well I'm on I'm on state felony probation. I'm on federal misdemeanor probation.
wow.
I've got two appeals in the works for both of those cases, one for Georgia, and that appeal is going to the Georgia Supreme Court. And then this appeal, which is again going to the district court level and to the 11th if need be. Then I have the two lawsuits going right now in South Carolina, the one versus the city of Easley, which we just went over, and the one that I'm
Hmm.
still waiting a ruling on, which is Metz versus Smith, which for those of you folks, and I see a lot of you in here, I know you're all longtime subscribers here, so I know you'll remember the chief deputy, the dumbest chief deputy there in South Carolina, the one gentleman um, that was I was outside the health department, and he thought he could search my vehicle and all kinds of funny stuff. But I filed a lawsuit against him, but I've been waiting for a ruling on that case for almost over a year now from the judge, right? Like I'm just waiting to hear from the judge. That's been a year now. So there's no telling. And the same thing with these appeals. These appeals could take a year, year and a half. Like I'll literally have done my whole three
Mm.
year sentence on probation in Georgia before my appeal has been heard, probably. So, um, the whole punishment will be done even before I get to the appeal process. So if the appeal
Right.
goes
Well,
through,
and not only that, it's preventing you from your, what you're trying to do, your activism here. And I don't know if you have, where you can't go out and film or something like that on your,
well, I
but
can, but see, now here's the thing, and God, thank you, Lord, for all these fabulous people that I see in the chat. And let me just call out some names: Miss Rummy, Tommy Wood, of course, Friends in Code,
I mean,
Snap
would,
Phase. Thank you very much, Snap Phase. I appreciate it, brother. I mean, these are all good people. Charles Viner, Invictus. I mean, a lot of these guys have been with me here since the beginning, so they know my level of dedication. Constitutional freedom fighter. I was wearing his shirt the other day, but they know my love. And same thing with you, sci-fi. I know you've been here with me a long time, brother.
yeah,
You guys
you're
know
like
my
the
level.
guru, man.
Listen, you guys know my level of dedication, so it kills me to not be able to go out as much as I'd like. But the sad fact is that I'm one of the most hated guys, I think, I would imagine, in the Southeast United States. And a simple arrest, even if even if I beat the charges, is gonna
Mhm.
violate my probation, right? And so
Yeah.
I'm not at a point now to where I can afford to spend 6 months in jail, and have my family not be supported, right? Because I'm the guy taking care of my family. We're not,
Mhm.
getting money from all these other sources or whatever. I'm the guy that's working and taking care of the family. So to have me gone for 6 months, it's not going to work, right?
No.
It'd leave my family homeless. So I don't want to take that chance. Um, and some people get mad at me. Some people are in the comments and they're like, "Oh, you don't, make your own videos anymore, and I will stop watching you." And I'm all right. I'm all right with that. I mean, that sucks, sure. When I need support the most, they're out there, yelling, "Oh, blah blah blah," and don't give a damn about me or my family. So I understand that, and
Are you gonna do the promoting with the commentary over videos again?
yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I mean, once I'm off probation, I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks,
And by the
CFF,
way,
brother.
that's
I
one thing
appreciate it.
I wanted to bring up too on the Badatuse's channel. He highlighted or did commentary and highlighted a channel. I don't remember the channel name, but it was a gentleman that was pulled over for reckless driving, and the officer said he was seen or observed him driving at a high rate of speed. Did you happen to see that?
I don't think I've seen that one yet. No, I.
And the guy went and did pro se, um it was a pretty good video. The judge told him he was, in his 25 years since 1998 or something like that, he said he was the best pro se person that came forward, and he was offering him to take these bench classes or whatever, these lawyer classes. It was
Oh,
actually really,
yeah, I did see that video. I did
oh,
see
okay.
that video.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that was an awesome video. Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
that was great.
Yeah.
So that was a cool thing I seen recently. You were saying earlier, if we had anything to say about what's going on or whatever, and I just,
I thought
yeah.
so, Sly. Yeah, Sly pointed out that I'd covered the video too, and she's right.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I think I covered it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I missed
Um.
it.
Yep. Um. Yeah, that was an excellent video. Yeah, I mean, there's so much, and here's actually what I'm thinking about is going to be happening here in the next 6 months. So, my federal probation is 6 months long, right? So that'll be done by June. The federal probation guys, they seem really cool. And by really cool, I don't mean really cool. They just don't seem like assholes. But so that's fine. Now with my state probation, I'm still on that until like March or April 2026. But in June, I'll be way past the halfway mark. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to get the probation terminated early. Now, the only way I could do that is I have $5,000 in fines I have to pay them. So over the next 6 months, I'm going to be working. I've been picking up extra shifts at my regular job, which I know the trolls don't think I have a job, but I've worked the same job. It'll be coming up on 19 years with the same company. And I work in the service industry. For those of you that don't know, I know most of you already know that, but I work in the service industry. I'll never tell anybody where I work because I don't think I need to lose my job over my activism. Um, but um, I've been picking up extra shifts there, so I got 6 months to raise this money, um, and then pay them, and hopefully get my probation for the state level terminated at the same time my federal probation gets terminated. And then at that time, once my probation's off, it's like done. It's over. I'm out back on the street. We're going to be hitting Louisiana. We're going to be hitting Mississippi a lot. We're going to be hitting Arkansas some, and we're just going to go a little bit further out, right? So we're going to go full steam back into that. I'm going to be doing a little bit different style because, again, I don't want to end up in the same position, right? I don't want to end up having to fight charges and going to jail and spending a year and a half of my life on probation, because this is a lot of time that was wasted that I could have been out there, doing some good stuff and getting to some places.
Well, I was
North
hoping to
Carolina
hear
too, David.
Wisconsin, but I know you've been to Wisconsin before.
And
I was out with News Now California, and he's a funny guy. We had a great time, but I'd like to do something serious with some of you guys, like John Felix or you, or um, but
yeah, I got family up in Wisconsin, and I actually will be up in Wisconsin. There's people up there that want to bring me up there and stuff. So we'll
yeah,
definitely be
well,
coming up there and doing some stuff. But what I'm going to be doing with the channel is I'm going to go ahead and make a separate channel that is going to be just my audits, right? Because I think right now at this time, even if I post my audits on the Rogue Nation channel, people aren't clicking them, right? Because they don't think that I'm out doing anything.
hmm,
So I think I'm much rather gonna keep this channel to like do updates on and post other people's stories and like investigative pieces that need eyes on them, and then just totally move my all my audits to a separate channel where it'll be only my stuff. And that way,
okay.
if you come to that channel looking for my stuff, that's the only thing you'll find on there is my stuff. Obviously it'll be all my new stuff. I'll try to throw some of my old stuff back over there, but I mean, it's already on here. People could look at it over here as well. But this way, it doesn't muddy it, And
Yeah, I
if,
agree.
if
Everything except for what you said about not a lot of people you think would show up when you're live, and I
no, it's not
still
not
think.
not when I'm live, Bry. What I'm saying is like, okay, so like over the last like year, I've
Mhm,
been posting and commenting on others' videos, right? But I've also been doing audits, and I post them along with the other videos that I do.
right.
And what I've noticed is that my audits aren't getting, before I started covering other people's videos, my audits would get 50,000 or 20,000, 50,000 views, right? And then when I got on probation and I had to start, commentating and covering other videos, my views dropped drastically, right? It's down to like 2,000 to 5,000 views per video now. And so what I've noticed is even though I'm releasing my own audits, people aren't clicking on them because they think there's somebody else's videos, right? Like
Hmm.
I have people that come into my
Oh,
comment
okay.
section and say, "Dude, when are you going to get back out on the street?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm thinking to myself,
I
"Dude, I
got
just
you.
released like 10 videos I took in Philly. Like when we were up in Philly, I took like 10 videos and I
Mm-hmm.
posted them and they got no traction because people didn't realize that it was my own videos and that I was releasing videos again. They think that I've, just not audited at all. And it's because there's a mix of my videos and I'm posting other folks' videos too. So, once that happens, and people see, oh, it's not Rogue doing videos, he's commentating, they just click off the notifications. So they no longer get notifications. And then they
Oh
come
no.
back.
See
Yeah,
me, I want to see what the interaction is. I want to know who this person is that you're presenting to us. I want, I'm one
I
of
mean,
those guys, man. And
I
there's a
mean,
lot more like me, you
I mean,
know.
there's like thousands,
But
Bry. I mean,
I feel like
I don't
I
know,
know what you're saying. It's kind of like, you. I don't want to say shadow ban, but your views have gone down, and there's just no way around it. It is what it is, right? That's what you're talking about. So,
right, and it's not something to be upset about. Like I totally
right,
agree. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
people come to Rogue Nation to see me go out and do my audits. I mean, I understand why they do it. I'm not mad at them, right? It's again, it sucks to see that a large majority of people that supposedly supported me just really wanted to see the confrontation and didn't care
hmm
about the change, because I'm still doing lawsuits, and again, I'm still going out and still doing investigative pieces and stuff like that, but
I
a
think
lot.
that's the biggest thing with you is you're always telling us what, when, and how to do these lawsuits, and along the way. And that's why I kind of think of you as like a guru, because you're just been through it, man, and you know what you're doing.
Well, it's trial by fire,
Right.
and that's what it is, and that's kind of how I learn, actually, more so than
I
anything,
mean,
is trial by fire. So, I mean, I can pick up a book and read it and learn and stuff like that, but to really get it done, I have to do it, right? So, and that's why I tell
yeah.
people that if if the government was smart, they would just, if I file a lawsuit, just settle it. Because if you take me to court and you make me learn the procedures and you make me learn all this stuff, it's only going to come.
Oh,
So, am I there? Can you guys hear me?
yeah. You you broke up there for a second, but can you hear me?
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Are you there? Earth calling nation. Hello, nation. Okay, everyone. He must be busy with his panel. All right. Well,
What's up, Rogue? Ro, you're muted.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, loud and clear.
I think I booted Brian on accident. Brian, if you're still there, brother, come back up, man. This sometimes this internet here is so janky, and I'm paying so much money for it. I got that damn Starlink stuff, and it usually works fine, but certain times, dude, there'll be like little glitches where it just won't make it through the wall or something, and it'll interrupt my stream. It drives me crazy. That's why I don't stream so much anymore, because just so unreliable sometimes. So
I was gonna
it's
stream
weird.
tonight, but my computer took a crash, so now I'm on my phone.
Nice.
Yeah.
No.
I
No.
was gonna tell you, man. I honestly, I understood what you were saying about second channel, but I've been paying attention, man. That like everybody's channels, dude, and all the views are down across the board. Like it's not just you. Like everybody's views are down. Even people that are out putting out, videos every week.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. I see that a lot. I see that a lot. Sly, I'm a little bit away from my modem, hun. I think that might be an issue too. I'll have to move a little bit closer to the modem when I do some streams. But yeah, no, I see that same thing, Toe. And again, it could just be time of year, could be a lot of different stuff, um, as is. But we're talking like drastic difference. You know what I mean? It's not like I was getting 35 and now I'm only getting 25, right? It's going from like 35 to 5, right? So it's a lot more drastic than what I've seen from all my other buddies that do videos like J Town or Liberty Troll or Long Island
Right.
Audits, or what I mean, any of these other guys, right? Like, sure, Sean might have got 400,000 views last week, and now he's only getting 380,000. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, his views went down 20,000, but when you're talking that amount, it doesn't, that doesn't make a dent. But um,
No,
and
I
it,
get it.
yeah, and again,
And
it's
people don't click. People want to see they want to see you out there giving them hell or whatever and all that. And people want to see you get her. Look, let's be honest and let's be real about it. A lot of people want to see you have a interaction where you're screaming, yelling, cussing, or get arrested.
right,
And like you
absolutely.
said, they don't care about you or your family, right? They don't care that you have other people in your family to feed. That's just it's entertainment. You know what I mean? That's what they want to see.
Right, absolutely. And again, it's nothing to be mad about. That's just the way
No,
a lot of folks are. But when I do get back to auditing, it's going to be different. It's going to be a lot different than what I've put out in the past. Not because um, I'm afraid to go to jail or anything like that. It's just I don't need to do any of that anymore in order to get my goals accomplished. Right, and um,
exactly.
it's not about a lot of people will say, oh, clicks and views, and I want the message and the information to make it as far as possible, right? But I don't care how that gets done, right? Like, I could have one subscriber on here and they could go around and tell everybody in the world, and I would be fine with that, right? Like, I don't care
Hmm.
how the message gets to the end result, right? It doesn't have to include millions of dollars in my pocket. It does, none of that has to matter. It just has to matter that people out there realize that there's an issue, and then we could start to maybe work towards a way to solve the issue, right? But as it is now, most people don't even realize that there's an issue because they don't know. They don't interact with these people, right? Like,
Well,
if
yeah,
you're
your general law abiding citizen doesn't have interactions with the cops. so they don't, and government, so they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like they're blind to it.
Right,
It's not
exactly.
affecting them. It's not affecting them. So keep on going. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they think of these guys as, keeping their neighborhood safe or whatever because, they don't really see them unless they're, messing with a drug dealer or whatever, supposedly, or, whatever, whoever they're harassing at the time and whatever crime they supposedly committed. But for the most part, they're not harassing, like you said, law abiding citizens. Um, and it's weird, but, these people, they tend to do whatever they can to stay away from the cops. You know what I mean? Like stay out of their way and, you know, not challenge them in any way, shape, or form. And, that works for them. That's how they want to live their life and, whatever. But, um, to me, it's always been like mind boggling that people could back, and it's not even like a group of people, right? It's a profession, right? It's not like you're backing the Amish, right? It's not like you're backing the Mormons, right? You're backing a job, right? You're like, oh, I back the blue. I completely trust them, and they're the best, and they do everything great, and they're heroes. You what other profession do people like foam at the mouth about like that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see, a back the cab drivers or, a back the pizza delivery boys, you know what I mean? Or girls, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Exactly.
it's sickening, bro. It's a disease, man. It's people are foaming at the mouth with such love. Oh, I love these guys. And I ask people, oh, you love your local law enforcement, back to blue. Name 5 officers that work at your department. They don't got a fucking clue who works there,
Not
dude.
a not a
Charles
fucking clue.
Manson could have gotten out of prison and gotten a job there and they fucking wouldn't have known it. You know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting, dude. Like,
Yeah, for
ha-
sure, man.
have some pride in yourself, people. You know what I mean? Like, at least act semi intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a blind sheep, you know? Ah, it just kills me.
Oh, what's funny is, and it's like you're driving down the street, and I know this because 10 years ago or whatever, that was me, right? Exactly what you're talking about. So you drive down the street and you see the cops got somebody pulled over, and you got 3 or 4 cops with their guns pulled on this guy in a car, right? This black guy in a car, let's just say, right? And first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, he must have done something. He must have shot or robbed somebody, right? Because they wouldn't have him pulled over and guns drawn on him for nothing, you
Of
know?
course not. Yeah, that never happens.
No, no. And then you start watching these videos and you're like, oh, yeah, they got him pulled over just because he's black. And they got guns pulled on him just because he's black. And he was
Yep.
driving down the road, minding his own
Exactly.
business.
Yep. And if he doesn't have nothing on him, I've got a crack rock that I'll plant on him.
Yeah, yeah. Let me drop this in the back seat.
Right, right. That's a it's funny, but it's not. But when the system wants you, the system will take you. Right? Just it's no different than in Russia when the KGB would come in the middle of the night and snatch you out of your house. I mean, when the system wants you, the system takes you. That's the bottom line, and they'll make up anything they want to. Oh, you got COVID, son. We're quarantining your ass, or oh, you got Ebola and we're going to quarantine your ass. And you know what? You ain't never seen again from your family. And all they got is a death certificate saying you died of Ebola. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or
Right.
COVID, or whatever the flavor of the day is to terrorize the citizens with fear and paranoia. You know,
Hmm.
like when
Or
that stuff went down, dude, my wife had called me up and she's like, "Oh my God, we have to leave. We got to get out of Florida." And my brother-in-law and them, they thought it was shit hit the fan time, which could realistically could be any day. But when I started to question the numbers, and they were talking like a 0.5% death rate, I was thinking to myself, this is insane. This reaction to this is insane, right? Like I was thinking
Mhm.
with the reaction, I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a repeat of the Spanish flu. 50% of the population is going to die the way these people are acting. But
I think
half
they
of,
reacted worse than the Spanish flu, honestly.
yeah, half of a percent. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? And they were like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't travel around and you shouldn't have masks." Damn thing, the whole thing I did the whole time was travel around with no masks on until I got into the building, and then I put my FU mask on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Dude, honestly, man, I'll be honest with you, bro. That whole COVID time, and I worked like I worked through all of it. I was an electrician. I'm an electrician, so I was going to people's houses and I was going to Home Depot every day and all that. Honestly, I can probably say that I may have put a mask on that whole time for maybe a total of 20 hours if you total it all together. Like,
yeah,
and that was only because I'd had a couple customers that were, real particular, like, oh, put a mask on, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, do I want my money or do I want to be that guy that's like, hey, ain't nothing but a flu, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll throw a mask on because I need to make money. You
yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
no, yeah, we all do what we got to do to get by. There's no shame in that game. Obviously, nobody wants to see another person starving and hungry because they wouldn't
Yeah.
succumb to the system. But
But
you
I
know,
didn't wear my mask much at all, man. I hear all these people like are like, oh man, we were wearing masks for 3 years or 2 years or a year and a half or whatever, and I'm just like, man, like I got total maybe 20 hours with a mask on my face, total
well,
throughout that whole time.
I got my wife to make Rice Krispie a masks too. I can't remember what it said though. It was funny. We made some really funny masks. I made the FU one. I made the cop splaining one. That one was pretty funny. Um, I mean, we like to have fun with it.
Right? I mean, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I was yeah, I was watching me and Crispy Nation at the post office in Tallahassee the other day. From years ago, but he had his wrap around his head on, and it was a pretty good video. But and he'll remember. I think he put it in his best of Rights Crispy clip. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But the officer came out of the post office and he was like, "Gentlemen, the post office said you're free to practice your First Amendment rights," and and Rights was like. He said something like we're free to practice it or something, and God bless or something, and or no, the officer said God bless us, and Wright said God blesses us every day. He said, now honor your oath. He told the cop as he was walking away. That was a pretty good one. But yeah, I mean, and I've told Wright's Crispy this too, because obviously Wright's my road dog, and we'll probably be doing a lot, stuff when we go back out. When I get back out, Wright's will probably be with me, as much as he wants to be, obviously. Um, so I've already told him that there's a new dawn, there's a new era, and I'm gonna try to make this to where any citizen can record the government and not have to worry about getting arrested, right? We're going to try to refine it to a McDonald's type level to where anybody can go and record, get actionable claims if they're violated without having to go to jail. Because this is just, to me, it's just eating up our time, our money, and our energy. Josh Abrams was in prison for like a year. Hendry's in jail.
Carolina's in jail.
Carolina's in jail recently. And all this stuff is it's just taking away from the movement, right? Like
Mhm.
it might be fun and exciting for some people to see this, happening to us or whatever, but um, it doesn't result necessarily in higher lawsuit payouts. Um, there's always been this myth that if you get arrested and the DA sees the tape, they'll drop charges right away, and that's another freaking myth that people that haven't gone through it like to yell in the comments. Oh, the DA sees that, and you'll drop charges for sure, and you I'm surprised if they don't have 100 grand check waiting for you when you get out of jail. I mean, some people are just so ridiculous with it, and oh, you won't take the arrest, bring me, I'll take the arrest. No, no, you won't, dude, because if you would have done it already, right? You don't need me to go with you to take an arrest. You pick up your damn camera, go out there, film the cop that's 5 block. It's like cops are like spiders. You know how you say they're 6 feet from a spider anywhere in your life? That's you're 6 feet from a cop anywhere in your life. If you think
That's
you're man
crazy.
enough to go take an arrest, grab your freaking phone, start a live stream, go down to that nearest cop and take the fucking arrest. You don't need me to take you out to take the arrest, bro. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So stop saying that shit in my chat. you know, like uh,
Exactly, dude.
you fuck,
I
want to
don't
be.
know where that whole concept came that you had to take her arrested to get anything accomplished.
Well, you know
Because
what? I
it's
honestly
silly.
think it's the trolls, dude. I think it's the trolls that get in the chats under sock accounts and pump people up to take arrests and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, tell the officer this, and you know what I mean? Like that's something that if I was a troll, I would do. So I could see them doing something along those lines, very similar to it.
Right.
And people think, and a lot of the auditors when they get into it, they think that that's a like a rite of passage, or that they can only get a lawsuit. And technically, they're almost damn near correct. Like if you're not doing lawsuits yourself, the only way you're gonna get a lawsuit, a lawyer, is if you get arrested, right?
Yeah,
There's
if you
no
got
ifs,
all
and or
kinds of
buts. Right.
like
If you
physical damage and stuff. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, the an arrest is like the bottom, right? Like just an arrest, most lawyers won't even take it, right? There's got
Right.
to be an arrest, and maybe it's like you said, maybe a hurt wrist, or your shoulder got dislocated. There's got to be something else usually for I'd say probably 60% of the lawyers to take it. So,
Mhm.
in that aspect, I guess they're kind of right. You're not going to get a lawsuit unless you get arrested, or unless you end up doing the lawsuit yourself, which you know again more people should take up. I mean, that
I mean,
never hurts to
it,
try. And
yeah. I
just
mean,
as far as I'm
what are you
concerned,
gonna lose?
right, I mean, there's a lot worse stuff that people are out there learning daily, that could easily replace your time to learn. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. I don't maybe I don't understand humans, right? But to me, the way I'm looking at life is like there's a few things that are ultra important, right? Like you have to know. The law is freaking one of them, right? It controls every aspect of our life, right?
Right.
Imagine a some kind of appliance that is connected to your whole life, right? That is integral to your whole life. And then you got the owner's manual, and you're just, yeah, I'll just throw that in the fire. I'll use the owner's manual to start a fire. I'll just run this contraption, however, I kind of react to it and see how it goes. And, I'll hit it a couple of times on the side to make it go or whatever. Like, understanding the law is the freaking owner's manual pretty much to your freaking life, bro. Because the
Hmm.
law interacts with everything. Everything you do. When you get in your car, you're interacting with the law. When you buy a house, you're interacting with the law. When you get a job, you're interacting with the law and employment rights and laws and stuff. Every aspect of your life is touched by the freaking law. And 99% of motherfuckers don't have a clue but whatever they see on CSI. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I saw that on
Yeah.
CSI, so of course the officer can ask for ID whenever he wants. That was on that show Cops. Remember the cops? They always used to just stop people and ask them for ID, and they gave them their ID, so it must be legal.
Yeah, and that's funny because that's how a lot of people like really. That's where they get it. Like they see it on TV from cops or whatever, and they see a cop just walk up to somebody on the street and just be like, "Hey, let me see your ID," and then that person hands it over. So they believe that like all that is okay, and they
Right.
have no idea that you can be like, "No, you ain't seeing nothing, man. That's get out of my face. I didn't break the law. Have a nice day.
I
Goodbye now."
I saw one video years ago, and I looked for it since. I can't find it now, but it was these two kids, and I say kids, but they were over 18. They were young 20s, and they were
Mhm.
pulling into a parking garage, and the kid driving his vehicle had a gun rack in the back window. If I know
Okay.
you remember those, but
Oh
there's a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, gun rack in the back window, and it's legal in this state. I don't remember what state it was, but it's legal to open carry and have gun racks and whatnot in the back of your truck or window, whatever. So
Mhm.
this kid pulls into this parking garage, and I guess this cop sees him and sees him pull by, sees a gun rack in the back of his car. So this cop starts walking towards him in the parking garage because I guess the cop thinks that he's just going to search his kid's car, right? And he walks up to these kids, and he doesn't know that the kid that wasn't driving, his buddy's recording the whole incident, right? Because he's got the phone down by his side. It's at like an awkward angle. The whole video is. It's real dark in there. Again, it's a parking garage, right? And the cop walks up to the kid, and I can't remember. He either asked them to, give him his ID or asked them to search the vehicle, and whatever it was, the kid, you said no, hell no, he's just like no, you can't or whatever. And that cop, dude, reached out and slapped the shit out of that kid, dude. And
No.
yes, just slapped the shit out of him, dude. He didn't think he was being recorded. Slapped the shit out of him, and then said, "You like that? There's more where that came from." And then he noticed that the kid, the other kid, was recording, and it was a complete 180 on it. You let the kids go, didn't
Mhm.
ask, you know what I mean? And I haven't been able to find that video in years, dude. But that just illustrates the point that when these guys ask for stuff like that, and people capitulate to them, it builds up and it reinforces this fact
Mhm.
that I can get your ID whenever I want, right? Because I've been working this job for 20 years, and every single person that I've asked for ID has given me their ID, unless they were a
Mhm.
criminal, right? So now the cop's saying to himself, I'm thinking you're a criminal because you won't just comply and give me your ID. That's why all the cops, when we exercise our rights and don't give ID or whatever, don't answer questions, that's why we're being confrontational, right? Because
Yeah.
complying, just doing whatever you're told, is the right way, right? That's what they think. If we ask, you give, right? That's the role that they see themselves as, right? Like, it's like the mother and father
It's
to the
it's
child, like when my kid comes in from outside and I'm like, hey, where the hell have you been? She needs to tell me right away, right? That's the
yeah.
role that they think they're fulfilling in society, is like the mother, father, guardian type role. Like everybody's a criminal until you've passed my inspection. You know what I mean? So paper up,
It's
criminal, and
it's
and I'll
decades and
decide.
decades,
Right, right.
decades and decades of unchecked power, dude. Unchecked
E-
power.
exactly, because nobody had cameras. The people that reported on that shit, if they didn't end up dead, from a quote unquote mugging, or like that dude said in Long Island Audits video, 20 years ago, you'd be dead with your teeth missing. I mean, people don't
Yeah.
realize how realistic that shit was. You know
I
what I
was
mean?
thinking
Like,
of that when you were talking about them kids, and I was thinking of that video, and I couldn't remember whose video it was, where that cop was like, "Yeah, if this was 20 years ago, we'd be digging him a hole or whatever the hell he said or some shit." And I was like, "What?" I was just thinking about that video.
yeah. And Papa just said, remember inmate Robert Brooks? Absolutely. I mean, right. This kind of stuff goes on with cameras, right?
What do
Imagine
you think?
what's not caught, right? Even today, like
Mhm.
there's shit that's not being caught all day long, every day in the States here.
So there's a running thing going on right now. I mean, I know you haven't been out and about on these YouTube streets a lot, but there is a running thing going on. Um, do you believe everybody should pick up a camera and record, or do you believe that
Yes.
people shouldn't pick up a camera because they're uh, if you're not ready to get harassed by the cops or thrown in jail or whatever? What do you think?
I'm going to say what Jeff is here audits slash NC Tire Tender said. He and I aren't on the best terms, but that doesn't mean he's not right sometimes. Even if you have to do it surreptitiously, he didn't use that word, but I'll act like he uses big words. Even if you got to hide behind a bush, whatever you got to do. And to tie into that, did you guys hear about the most recent court ruling in California that now I don't do the whole pause for emphasis and make you guess. That's not how I work. Rogue knows me. So yes, I've had a few drinks. I just watched the video literally seconds ago.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on, I'm taking a breath. They can't as far as California, the Supreme, or I don't remember what court it is, but I think it's they're like the circuit court or whatever, that hiding from the police does not give them the right to. Like if you run from them, say if they say, hey, stop, and you run, things like that, yeah. But a guy was bending down behind his car. It's not fully through, but they did make the decision. Like it's a whole thing, but there is a decision. They kicked it back to the lower court because they had decided incorrectly. Because he was bending down in front of his car, pretending to tie his shoelace, and then they arrested him. And then they found stuff in his car. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, everybody should be recording because, I mean, if you hidden cameras, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do.
I get it.
I'm down with that. I mean, do I think everybody should be an auditor or a cop watcher? Probably not. But do I think that if the situation arises, should people record? Absolutely. Especially if it's your own situation. Like,
Yeah.
I would be okay with just everybody recording their own situation only, because then we would have every situation covered, right?
Yep.
But yeah, but to not have at least your situation covered is a lot like playing the lotto, right? Or like Forrest Gump said, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get, right?
Besides
So,
that, sir, just one speeding ticket, like another video I watched earlier today where they were saying buddy was speeding. He defended himself. Do you see that recent video? He was
yeah.
pro se. But anyway, so dash cam. Every single, if you own a vehicle and you drive around and you don't have a dash cam, you're a damn fool.
Oh yeah, for that and for insurance purposes and all that shit. Yeah, they're so cheap nowadays that I mean, there's no reason for you not to have one, right?
Yeah, I actually, my car doesn't have an electrical plug. So what
You're a damn fool.
listen, you're gonna appreciate how I've solved the issue though. Do you remember there was a commercial a while back where there were some either it was gerbils or hamsters or whatever, but they were rowing in a little rowboat in a fish tank to like create electricity to power the guy's like computer or whatever.
Sounds
So
adorable.
I took that same concept, and what I did was I hired a gerbil, and he sits on my dashboard, and what he does is he draws, right? He's like a sketch artist. So if there's like an accident or anything, he'll like sketch it out, right? So I'm covered, right? I'm good.
That's very inventive.
It is. It
like
is.
the Flintstones, but a little more redneck.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a gerbil. At least it's not up my butt, right?
You're a creep. It's funny though.
It is.
That that's funny. That reminds me of about 2 years ago or so. Furry Potato talking about she was a court artist and she was doing court renderings, and then she showed them and it was stick figures. That shit was funny as fuck, dude.
Did you notice that that lady? I don't remember what. She's got a very southern accent. She's like, "Yeah, y'all, the Supreme Court, yada yada." You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Ooh,
Not sure if she's trans or not.
Yeah,
Out in
don't
front of
say
that
it.
courthouse.
Is somebody talking? I can't hear somebody's mic's real low. Is that you, D man?
Mike Low.
Hey, can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you, D man. What's up,
Very
buddy?
good. No, real quick, I just
Hear
wanted to
me?
jump in for a second. You were talking about pre dash cams. I used to take the train into the city, and for a while I kept getting tickets because your car had to be parked away from the train station at a certain time. So I was thinking, what the hell? I got a ticket. It's not the time. So one day I left work early, and the ticket was there written for 1:10 a.m. in the morning, and I was standing at the car at 10 at night. So I took the ticket and went down to the police station and said, "Hey, look at this ticket. Tell me what's wrong with it." And the guy looked at it and he was like, "Yeah, well, you shouldn't be parking at the airport." And I'm like, "Look at the time." And he looked at the time, and I pointed at the clock on the wall and said, "Tell the guy to get his eyes checked because he's 3 hours early." Pre dash cam. So that's kind of how it was when the guy was saying, 20 years ago his teeth had been missing. It's because he was doing that 20 years ago.
No,
And
absolutely.
mhm.
Yeah,
had
and
to
so
go to
was his
court.
dad.
I had to go to court 3 times. 3 times. The process is the punishment. And I've been saying a lot on a lot of the videos that they manifest criminals. They manifest them. They make them up. If they ain't got criminals, they'll find somebody that's dumb enough that they think that they can create a criminal out of you or what you're doing.
They need job
Absolutely.
security, man.
There you
That
go.
that
Come on.
that you know what, that describes perfectly to a T CPS and the job that they do. We got to understand something, and that is that when people do a job and they do it correctly, then shit happens, right? So if the police's job in the country is to get criminals off the street, right? And we've been
Keep
doing
law
this
and
job,
order.
right? We've been doing this job for 30, 50, 100 years now. How come there's still criminals on the street? How come there's still as many criminals on the street as there has ever been? Right?
Job
Like,
security.
right. Like, how does that make sense? And the same thing with CPS. The only thing that I could come up with, and it actually makes sense, is that, like you said, they create the criminals, right? They
They
create,
manifest them. They
right.
manifest criminals.
Manifest. I like that
It,
word.
Yes.
no, he's exactly right, right? Because if we remember back to when we were kids and the stuff that we used to do, like going out from dusk till dawn, you know what I mean? Or not dusk till dawn, but you know what I mean? 7 in the morning, mom would pick you out. You wasn't allowed back in till the street lights came back on. You know what I mean? Did
Right.
mom know where you were? Hell no, mom didn't know where I was. I was riding my bike. I was halfway across the next
Yep.
county. You know what I mean?
But you
Like,
Can
know
you guys
what
hear me
though?
now? Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
my mic
we got you,
cracked up.
Tasman.
Sorry.
no,
But
you're
here's
good.
the difference, though. Here's the difference, though, Rogue, is that back then people talked. People went outside and people had conversations and neighbors had conversations. So your mom might have not knew exactly where you were at, but she knew she could call somebody that could call somebody that would find you and she'd come down there and grab you
Oh
by the
yeah.
ear and drag your ass home.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
right, right. But what I'm saying is that kind of behavior today will get your children taken from you,
Oh yeah.
right? Like
Hmm.
you'll be a bad parent.
Yep.
And the only
Yep.
reason that can be true is if because CPS needs more people to be
Sure.
bad parents, right? Because as we know, government and these agencies continue to grow year after year after year, right? So if you're doing your job correctly, let's just start with some basic numbers, right? Let's say in 1980, CPS was invented, and in the United States, there was 1,000 bad parents, right? 1980, 1,000 bad parents. Here's
Mhm.
CPS, right? So you do your job the whole year 1980, right? And let's say you get rid of 200 bad parents, right? And then 1981 shows up, right? And then let's say 100 more bad parents show up. They just had kids this last year.
Oh, we need to hire
So
more people so I can
what?
go do knock and talks.
Right. So now we got some more people, but the point I'm getting at is that after a few years, you should have most of these bad parents in custody, right? You should have the kids taken from these bad parents, right?
The
But what
police
happened?
sicked CPS on Acura Amanda for over 2 years because she records the police.
Right, right. And what I'm getting at here is that in order to justify the job, in order to justify we need more CPS
Yep.
staff, there has to be an increase
Yep.
in bad parents, right? I
Mhm.
can't go to my boss and be like, "Hey boss, I did, half of the work that you wanted me to do last year. I'll do the other half this year, but I'm going to need double the pay."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
More
Right.
funds.
You can't do that, right? But if I was to go to my boss and say, "Boss, I did half of the work that you wanted me to do last year, and now this year my workload has doubled. So I'm going to need double the pay." Now, which one seems more logical, right? The second one, right? That's the one the boss is going to be like, "Yeah, I see your point. You've got double the work. I'm going to give you double the pay."
And
That's how
and
CPS goes, right?
and boy, this office is getting awful small. We should double its size.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Because now we have twice as many bad parents. So we're going to need twice as many filing cabinets,
More
right? We're going to
That's
need,
why I
computers.
had a moral dilemma the other day with public service, I think it was, and Foshin. I can't remember
yeah.
what his channel had. I've had a few drinks. Anyway, they went to an office and they were like, "We just want to go around to the public areas," and I'm just like, "Well, no, they do have it closed off." But then I remember, like after the video, I'm like, "Hold on, it's a pretty good chance that because there's this big, it looks like a castle. It's like 5 floors." I'm like, hold on. I bet you that there's like 70 people that work in there and there's like 300 offices.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yep.
I think it was DeLand, wasn't it? Where he was at? DeLand?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. See, that's when I analyze your guys' videos. That's why I'm the guy that audits the audit. I don't care about. Man, audit the audit makes me so mad when he's like, and then you look at this case and blah 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 blah, and I'm in his comments going, listen, bro, I understand that you're going the way that the legal process goes, but the whole thing is bastardized. Like the judiciary and the judges are part of a secret society that do not get regulated by the government in any way. A carpenter gets regulated by the government, but a lawyer doesn't. Explain it. So, I don't analyze it by the particulars. I analyze it by what's right and wrong. Right?
There's lots of money to be made in that job. And if
Yeah,
you
because
have
it's a secret society. How come your plumber has to have certifications, but that can be revoked if he like rips you off or something, but not a lawyer? Why is that?
takes more time to be a barber than it
So
does
I'm
to
just
be a
asking.
officer.
I want to
Well,
know why they get special permissions because they're the ones that write the laws. Our government officials do not write the laws. And any ones that are part of it are lawyers. They're all part of a secret society, and the lawyers write it, and the other people sign it. Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
no, I was going to say that as far as the lawyer aspect goes, you're absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
they're all lawyers.
Yeah, they've all been lawyers, and they've always been lawyers. The Constitution
All right.
was written by lawyers,
Um,
and the laws after the Constitution was written by lawyers. And Judge Marshall was like handpicked, and he
different kind of lawyers, bro. Different kind of lawyers.
what do you mean different kind of lawyers?
Because there was no case law involved in the Constitution.
Well,
Do you get what I'm saying here?
no, there was. I mean,
Those were
because
common law lawyers.
Well, right, and that's what case law is. Case law is common law.
Not really.
Hey,
No,
Rogue,
that
you know you got someone in the
it,
basement.
no, I didn't know that. But no, tenth. That's absolutely 100% what common law is. Common law is cases and customs of the area, right? So, English common law was the cases that went on in England, right? So, in America, our common law would be considered precedent, or stare decisis, or however you pronounce that, Latin word. Um, but yeah, common law has always been cases and customs of the society. Now, common law, case law has always been rigid, right? Like, so if this happened in the case, then the judge had to rule this way, right? So that's where they came up with equitable law, is because common law was too rigid. Like, there was no deviation, right? Like,
As it should be.
well, maybe, but then you have other things that take into play, right? Like, okay, so let's say that the precedent is if you steal a car, you get the death penalty, right? So no matter what the excuse is, right? Now, let's say your wife just got her arm chopped off by a runaway cow in your pasture, right? And you don't have a car, but there's a car that's sitting down at the end of the road, the keys are in it or whatever, and you need to run to take her to the hospital because there's no way there's an ambulance going to come before your wife bleeds out and dies, right? So you have to steal this car in order to get your wife to the hospital, right? Any one of us would be like, yeah, dude, I could see that, would be a reason that I could excuse that, right?
Yeah.
Not with common law, baby. It doesn't matter the reason. You stole, you die, right? Doesn't matter if your wife was going to die. Fuck her, right? Common law says you steal, you die, right? Don't no
Every
matter. So
everybody was the law.
right, so that's why they came up with equitable law, because the citizens in England realized, hey, this isn't flexible, right? There's no flexing here, right? So,
Yeah, I'm not talking about death though.
well, right, but
I get what you're saying, but
right.
They created the basis for them to do it. That's
right
where
there
that comes from.
there are exceptions, right? There's always an exception, right? Like, um, I tell my kids it's never right to steal, right? But if you're hungry and you're poor and you're gonna die, I would say go ahead and steal some food. You know what I mean? Like, I might be an asshole, I might be a bad guy for that, but
Well,
to
that's
say that I'm going to, or even me, like, if my kid looks at me and says, "Dad, I'm starving," like, I don't care what I have to do to get my kid food at that time, right?
just get it. I would.
Morally, immorally, common law, case law, it doesn't fucking matter. My kid looks at me, says they're starving, I'm going to get them food. It doesn't matter how I get them food, they're going to get food. That's the bottom line. I
I
don't
would
care
get.
what society says. I don't care what my neighbor says. I don't care what my damn mama says, right?
I would just go to California. You can steal for free. You're never gonna get arrested as long as it's under $800.
We're right.
they just overturned all that. But yeah,
Oh, hey, say it ain't so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they put that into practice. You know, we'll see. I mean, I'd be happy for them if they did. You know what I mean? But it's such a
this is
shit
what
show.
this is why I bring this up, is because I know you don't watch my show. I'm not important like you, but that's okay.
I watch it when I get a chance. Tenth,
I'm
come
just
on,
fucking with
buddy.
you. Come on, calm down,
You know,
calm down, calm down.
you
I'm
know
fucking. I'm trolling you. Come on, I'm the nicest troll you're ever gonna have. So, I did a show about you know I don't care about views. That's adorable. About the civil rights attorney, right? And I like his videos. I do, and I think he caught wind of, because you know how I am. I make a big scene, and because at near the end of his video, he says, "Okay, so all these whatever it was, all these bad things happened, and now it's going to be up to the taxpayers to have to deal with this and foot the bill." And I'm like, hold on. It was lawyers that did all of this. was lawyers for this city. So how come none of them are being held responsible? And that's how lawyers work. Even in his brain, he didn't make the connection that, hold on a second here, the citizens didn't do anything. The government, for the most part, didn't do anything. The lawyers were the ones doing all of this, but none of them are held responsible. They all keep their multi-billion dollars for the law firms and all this stuff that they do, and we foot the bill. And it's they don't even see it. I had a conversation at the hospital about maybe 7-8 months ago with a judge, and he didn't want to talk to me. And as I was walking away, I just said to him, I said, you do understand that the majority of society believes what I say when I say it, which is our government and their guards are mafia-controlled terrorists, and citizens are considered livestock to be utilized or disposed of as those in power see fit. And he just kind of grimaced, and I walked away. And it's true, because they don't even see us as human beings. They see us as chaff to be utilized or disposed of. And I know it seems like absurd that I'm portraying it this way, but that's actually how they think. Go talk to these people. I watch you guys record these people in their government offices.
Yeah, no,
That's how they treat you. They treat you like you are less.
well, it's actually part of their management style, is that we are considered like being farmed, I guess you could say. They're like the shepherds, right? And again, when you look at it, when you step back from yourself and you look at it, it it kind of like falls into place, right? Because if you're, let's say you're the president of the United States, you have what, 390 million people to look after, right? Or that you're responsible for, quote unquote, like a farmer's responsible for his 300 head of cattle. And when one of your head of cattle gets sick, um, it's heartbreaking or whatever, but the farmer doesn't care. He quarantines it, he chops its head off, and he goes about his daily life, right? Because
Get another one to get knocked up.
right, yeah, exactly, because you're dealing with such a mass amount, right? Like they don't care that 5,000 people die every 2 days from
I think some do.
smoking.
I think some farmers care.
Well, right. No, I'm talking about in the government aspect now, right? When you've got
I understand.
300, yeah, you got 300 million people. Like it didn't bother the government that so many people died on 9/11, or so many
Okay, but
people
you have
died.
to admit that Trump probably cares more about the average citizen than the guy who was scared that super predators were going to be going to their children's schools, right?
He's doing
Like,
what
you have to
everybody
admit that.
somebody in that position do.
I mean, well, shit, I don't get political on here at all, but I
I
will
get you, but I'm
say,
just saying we're talking about the government. Though you brought up the president, I'm saying you'd have to admit that you've never heard Trump say, like, "Hey, we got to get those super predators out of the schools," referring to black people, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got someone who's the farmer that cares a little bit, and the ones who don't.
right, and again, I said president because I didn't want to bring up anybody's name, because I'm not trying to be political. Because honestly,
All
and
right, all right,
no,
all right, all right.
I don't believe either one of those guys cares about the common man. I don't care
I'm just saying
what
degrees.
they right,
They
what
I
don't.
they
get you.
said for a soundbite, or what they said, whatever the reason, political motivation, mojo behind the soundbite was. Neither one of those guys is going to stop by my house, right? Neither
I
one of
would.
those guys. I know you would, buddy. You're cool like that. But neither one of those guys is gonna send me a check if I get sick and I can't support my family. You know what I mean? Like they sure, they care about the common guy if the common guy is someone they know and could benefit from in some way, right? These None of these guys You know what I mean? Like that don't even
That-
seem logical that these guys would even care for somebody like me or somebody like you. You know what I mean? Because if they did, they would already be showing it,
Only
right?
if they could film it,
They
put it on
only care
TV.
about us long as we're paying taxes.
Yeah.
Right. Be who's that guy? Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? Like have somebody else tell
I
stories
try.
about the fucking great things that you do. Right. Like don't get
I
on
try.
TV. Right. Don't get on TV and tell me all the great things you do. Have somebody, in some small town newspaper say, "Yo, this guy was down on his luck, and it just so happened that Keanu Reeves was happening by and bought the guy a freaking car." You know what I mean? Like, and then Keanu doesn't say anything about it, and he forgets about it because he's just that nice of a fucking guy that he cares about the common man. Not some guy up here that only cares about the common man if he gets him on TV, The Apprentice, or, is doing this on his, Jimmy Carter's Help Your HUD Foundation, whatever, telemarketing thing they got going on. But the point I'm trying to make is that none of these guys, care about us, and and when you look at it from a farming aspect, they shouldn't, right? They shouldn't. That's part of being that leader, right? Just like it's part of being that farmer. You don't want a farmer that's going to be sitting there crying and sucking his thumb because one out of the 300 cattle he had to put down, right? You don't want that farmer, right? Because you ain't getting milk now
Oh,
because
my
he's
car
sitting in there.
died.
Right,
I'm
he's
having
sitting
a
in the corner.
service, full parade, everything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
And the
don't want.
barbecue.
Right, you don't want that farmer, right? You want the farmer that's going to be like, okay, one had a cattle sick, I had to cull them from the herd, but now the rest of the herd is going to be safe and go on and prosper, right? That's the farmer you want, right?
Right. And they don't see us as pets. They see us as literal livestock. Like I
e-
care about my cats a
e-
lot.
e- exactly. But you don't have 300 million cats, because I guarantee you, if you did, you wouldn't know half of them.
Yeah. True enough.
Right? You wouldn't know half of them, even if you wanted to know half of them. Even if
He'd
your
be
ass was
lucky if
like,
he knew 10.
right, look, you could be like, dude, I love cats so much. You could want to become a cat yourself. You could like donate money to science to find out how you could become a cat, and you still wouldn't know half of them 300 million
I
cats,
love
bro.
beagles so much that I support that Fauci removed their vocal cords so they couldn't make noises anymore, and then put nets over their heads and allowed sand fleas to bite them for years and torture them because I love beagles so much.
You would,
WW says easy, no furries here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The reason I came up, y'all were talking about, how kids used to be able to stay out at night and, wasn't a big deal. Um, until the government made it a big deal. Hell, you can't even go out as an adult at night.
I
Right.
know. Remember
Well,
the days when ladies used to make sandwiches?
Sandwiches.
I'm just fucking around.
Can't sit in the
Exactly.
parking lot.
Damn
Take
sandwich
another drink.
makers.
yeah.
Can't can't
Yeah,
sit in the parking lot.
my wife
Ye-
doesn't make sandwiches. She makes breaded chicken cutlets with a
Oh,
tomato puree,
are you
which
ready?
is
Ooh.
chicken nuggets and ketchup.
There you go. There you go. In an air fryer.
You're right.
Easier
Yeah.
that way. Or McDonald's.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't
And
sit in a parking lot now.
Somebody,
so my wife doesn't
somebody
make
recent.
sandwiches. Hold on. She
Go ahead.
makes a ham and turkey crostino with
Panini.
yeah, with aged oak cheddar, which is Velveeta.
Hey, look, someone in the so-called community here just recently told my old lady that she needed to stay in the kitchen making me sandwiches, and she was a Russian spy. Just saying.
Lord have mercy.
Well, if she's a Russian spy, see what kind of Russian sandwiches she can make. Because I'd be interested, buddy. I'm going to try all the sandwiches I can.
Well, I'm a good old country girl and I
I
make
don't.
country sandwiches.
I
So,
don't even think
Oh,
she's.
them
I don't even
mayonnaise
think
and
she's
banana
Russian.
sandwiches.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I like mayonnaise and banana sandwiches. I like peanut butter and banana. You know what I really like is peanut butter and jelly with oatmeal cream pie on it. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
sandwich, and also Swiss cake roll. But peanut butter and jelly with a Swiss cake roll sandwich. Those are really good too.
Mm.
So I'm sorry I distracted, but how do we make it so that lawyers are no
You,
longer immune from what they do?
I mean, you're asking the impossible, homeboy.
Yeah, because they have
Because
absolute.
they yeah, they have all the power. I
They'd have
mean,
to be held.
Right.
That's
So then,
true.
They'd have to be.
it's not
Absolute
just yeah, it's not just the legislator who, like you said, tenth write the laws. They enforce the laws through the judicial system and also through the executive agency, because most mayors and people and those kind of powers, city commissioners, county commissioners, even presidents, most presidents have been lawyers. So I mean, when you really want to understand who runs the system, there's only two professions you need to look at: lawyers and bankers. Those guys
Yep.
run the country. That's it.
Yep. Yep.
Everybody that you see on TV, in Congress, in the Supreme Court, these are all puppets, right? This is all a show that you get to see. The
Right.
guys actually running the show, you will never see,
Yeah,
right?
Nope.
it's the old crap rolls downhill
Money.
hill theory.
That's
Follow the
it.
money.
Yep.
That's it. And listen, if you have enough money and influence to run a country, you're not going to put yourself in the crosshairs, right? You're going to get somebody else to run for president and maybe get shot, right? You're not going to
Yeah,
yep.
go out there
policy
and
policy
yeah,
maker.
right. You're not going to run and get yourself shot. You're going to stay in the shadows. You're going to, pay off everything that you need to pay off in order to get this guy to do what you want, and no one even needs to know about you, which is perfect because now this guy's going to be giving you, tips or, kickbacks or whatever, and you're just going to enlarge your wealth, you know? So, I mean, how is this ever going to stop? Is it ever going to stop?
Which means we
Probably
don't
not.
need any of these people then, right?
No, no, we really don't. But the hard thing about it is just because someone's a lawyer doesn't mean that they're in on the scam, right? Um, it doesn't mean that they understand specifically what's going on, because it's very compartmentalized, right? That's why they say that even a lawyer has to get a lawyer, right? When if he's facing criminal charges, because they've made the law so specialized that even lawyers, a lot of times, if they're not specifically looking for it, can't see the deception, right? Who knows the story of Tommy Cryer?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Okay. Well,
Tell
Tommy
me.
Cryer was a lawyer who had a buddy who came to him one day and told Tommy that he was going to stop paying income tax, right? That the government couldn't tax our income. And Tommy, the lawyer, told his friend that before he did that, that he was going to research it to keep his buddy out of trouble, right?
Oh, I think
And
I remember this, and he found out that it was actually true.
he found out it was actually
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I
So
remember that.
Tommy the lawyer now, Tommy stops paying taxes, right? Well, the IRS, of course, arrests Tommy, charges him criminally, and they take Tommy to court, and Tommy whoops their ass in court, right? And Tommy mysteriously dies before the civil part of the case. So Tommy beat the criminal charges, which I don't know. I don't think I've heard of any other case where they've beaten the criminal charges for income tax evasion. So he beat the criminal charges and he passed away before the civil part of the trial to find out whether he was going to have to pay them the taxes or not. Um, but it's a very interesting case, and Tommy had a very interesting defense. But again, Tommy was a lawyer for a long time before his buddy brought this to him, and he investigated himself and found out, it was true to a certain point. Like Tommy's defense is probably the only defense that would ever win that situation. A lot of people go in with the wrong information and the wrong um, arguments and end up getting slapped with frivolous sanctions. But there's another case that's similar to Tommy Cryer's, and that is the Credit River decision. The Credit River decision was a court case that was, I believe, in Minnesota, and it was back during the 60s, and it was a lawyer who had defaulted on his mortgage. And
I remember this.
yep, and the lawyer took the bank to court, and the lawyer told the judge, he said, Judge, he says, I don't owe the bank money. The bank just creates money out of thin air, and the bank doesn't put anything up in this process. And the judge was like, that's crazy. I don't believe any of that, blah, blah. And the lawyer got the bank president up on the stand, and the bank president was like, no, he's right. We just create money out of thin air. And the judge couldn't believe it. Judge ruled in the lawyer's favor, and they appealed it. The bank appealed it, and then this is the awesome part of it. The judge denied the appeal because they didn't pay in constitutional money, which gold or silver.
Yeah, it would be metals, things with
Right,
actual real value.
right. So that's why he denied the appeal. Now, again, judge mysteriously dies. Lawyer gets disbarred.
Yeah.
Case is reversed by I believe it's the Minnesota Supreme Court. Information like this, if that case was to stand, if that information was to become widespread, uh, like Henry Ford said, that quote of Henry Ford, that if people knew the banking system, there'd be a revolution overnight.
Yep.
He's absolutely 100% correct, because most of us don't even realize that the biggest debt of our life, the 30 years worth of our life is gone to pay off a debt that we never really owed, right? I know a
Right.
lot a lot of people fight
Well,
against that information
soon
because
as
yeah,
as soon as the money is printed, it's already in debt. So as soon as they convert it to paper, it's already a debt note. That's why it's called the debt note.
well, right,
Because
right, absolutely. And by law, 12 USC 411, you guys can put that in the chat so anybody can look that up. I'll put that in chat. Hold on, so that way people could look that up. But 12 USC 411, that is the federal statute for the Federal Reserve notes. And in that statute, it will tell you that Federal Reserve notes are legal obligations. Oh, excuse me, general obligations of the United States government. Now, an
Yep.
obligation.
And they made gold illegal and blah blah blah. Yeah, I get you.
Yep, yep. That you can exchange Federal Reserve notes for lawful
yeah,
money.
for gold.
Yep.
It
Right.
used to say it on the. I actually have an old bill that says right on it that you could bring it to a, what do you call it, and get it in gold.
Silver. Oh, okay.
Yeah, gold.
They have silver certificates that I had, and I know that they used to do it in gold as well.
Yep.
I've never had one that was redeemable in gold.
Give
But
me a slither.
yeah,
that was the thing with the coins, was that the coins were actual different metals. So when you got the coin, it was an actual real thing that you could hold in your hand, and the value was the metal, not what was stamped on the coin. And then they changed it. I think in the 70s they did it with the penny, and they changed the penny from from it being mainly copper to zinc, what it is now, where it's so that that worth out of the coins is not. Why do you think they collected all of the old coins? That's why they said you can't destroy them, because they knew that you could take those coins and turn them into a metal. It's a precious metal. That was the value. So they took all those coins and cashed it in on the metal, and then they come back out with the same coins that look the same, but they have no value in the metal that they're actually constructed from.
right, right. Just like with the silver.
In Canada we don't. Sorry. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead,
No,
Rogue.
go ahead, bud.
No, you. I'll remember. Go ahead, sorry. I don't want to be rude.
No, coins. 64. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. All I was gonna say was in Canada we don't have pennies anymore. That's all I was gonna say. Go ahead. Is my mic broken?
I don't know. Can you guys?
No, you're pretty loud.
Okay,
No,
Rogue. Yeah, we can hear you, Rogue. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Sometimes my internet's glitchy.
Oh,
But
don't worry, Terrence. Before long in Canada, you'll have pennies. Once you guys become the 51st state of the United States of America.
I pray for it every day. I've been advocating for this for over 5 years. I've been screaming at Americans saying, "You useless bastards! We're right on your border, and you're allowing the World Economic Forum and communism to sit on your borders, but you fought against it." It literally is part of the criminal justice code in America that communism makes you not a person. Like, that's the law. And you guys are allowing your brothers to be taken over and just completely eradicated. They've been medical assistants in dying people for years here for depression, so a couple years ago, I've done quite a few shows about this. The Veterans Affairs people were telling the veterans, like, one of them was like, "I need a chair, like one of those, things off the commercials to carry me up the stairs because I'm disabled. I'm a disabled veteran." They said, "Well, have you considered medical assistance in dying?" And then the government was like, "Oh, that only happened to one person." And they found it at least like 20 something or something like that this has happened to. And they're just literally euthanizing people like they're pets. It's weird. And America just sits there and just lets. I want this to be the 50. I want to be able to have a Second Amendment right. There are a plethora. I work in a call center, right? In the last 5 years, I've had a dozen or so people come out to me, and a couple of them started crying on the phone, saying, "Yeah, like, my house was just broken into by people that I know."
What does
right?
Canada have for coins now? Does Canada have the same thing?
We have the loonie, which is a $1 coin. We have the toonie, which is a $2 coin. And then we have a $4 bill. No, I'm just joking.
$4 bill.
No, we have the rest of the bills. But they made $1,000 bills illegal, right? So, yeah.
I worked on a store, and I used to get all kinds of coins from all over the world. People would give me just random stuff and say, "Here, you want a coin?" And I'd save them all.
So for my entire life, any store you could go into, and they'd have a sign there and say, "Our American exchange rate is this."
Yeah, they have to.
No more.
Oh, a 10th man.
They won't do it no more. They won't exchange American money no more because they take too much of a loss. Yes, sir.
Can you throttle your mic down a little bit? People in the chats are saying that.
Sorry. It depends on which mic I'm using. Is it better now?
I don't know. Come down a little bit more, maybe.
That's one of the trolls people do, is say, "Hey, turn your mic down."
No, you are
blasting.
Hot.
Yeah,
you are pretty hot.
Yeah, somebody turned my mic up on another panel, and I got like 6 mics. But we lost Rogue, so we'll just talk until he gets back. Let me work on my mic.
Do you have a headset? Just take the end of the headset and pull it away from your mouth a couple inches. That'll help a little. You could leave the volume like it is and just pull the mic away a little bit.
Is that a little bit better?
Yes, much better.
Yes,
okay. Yeah,
just better.
When I go on panels, I let them control it, and they turn it up and down depending on what the panel's sound is like. So I go on a lot of panels, and it goes where it goes. I apologize.
All good.
Yeah, what Rogue get kicked off?
Yeah, he's got Starlink, so we're relying on the Nazi salute guy. So I appreciate all you guys for coming. Are you guys all huge fans of Rogue? No, seriously. Like, I'm being serious right now. Are you guys all fans of Rogue and you watch his videos and stuff?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys know who I am?
No.
Probably
No.
not, because I go away for years at a time sometimes.
You
But
already know. I know who you are.
do I know? Yeah. Do I know you, sir?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
know.
So
I know who you are, and
yeah,
I know about your channel and all that stuff.
yeah. I'm the guy that audit the audit. So yeah, I'm
Audit
not. I'm not a like cloak guy. I'm just the guy who like haunts your grandchildren's grandchildren and stuff. So
audit the audit.
yeah,
Bye,
well,
Rega Money. Bye,
I
Rega
watched
Monkey.
all the. Sorry, you go ahead, ma'am.
I was just telling Rega Monkey bye.
Like back auditing.
No, he
Someone
said
says
he
you
was.
think.
He said bye, y'all, and I said bye.
Oh, what's up,
Someone
ragged
says
monkey?
Chuck Bronson. Chuck Bronson says he's here for 10th man, and the angry
What?
vet says you think you're the king of YouTube.
Yes, I am. And Angry Vet, we're gonna be having a feature tomorrow, which is like I warned you the other day when you were running your mouth, and I'm keeping it clean on Rogue's panel, but we're gonna have a little show tomorrow called "Who is the Angry Vet?"
We love the angry vet. Leave him alone.
I know, but he he drew the eye of Sauron the other day, so
What's up,
you know
Joe Cole?
He
what's
said,
up, Joe
"Oh, I'm
Bill
Cool?
so
O'Reilly.
scared."
No,
What's up,
not
dude?
Joe Cool. Joe Cole Cop Watch.
Oh, okay.
Joe
But
Cole
yeah, so
KS.
now that we've taken over Rogue's panel, I want to ask you guys some questions because I don't get a lot of time to talk to auditors. I mostly talk to people who hate auditors. So, and I'm the guy who defends them, right? Like I know you guys probably like. I even heard somebody earlier say, "Oh, you talk a lot" or whatever. That's because that's who I am, right? But so do you guys not agree that? And I know this sounds grandiose, but that these people are the closest things in society today that we have to the founding fathers.
Who?
So the auditors.
Auditors, yes,
I mean, yeah, they uphold the Constitution and stand for the Constitution. So
that's all I'm saying.
yeah, we have to have somebody to stand up for our rights and make sure that everybody knows their rights because there's so many people in this world, um, especially U.S. citizens that really don't know what their rights are.
Tofor?
Uh, I mean, I don't even know how to answer that, really, honestly, bro. Yeah, I
Oh, well,
guess. I mean,
well, I mean, think about it.
I think there's just, I mean, you call it auditing and you call it just the auditors, but I mean, I think there's other people that are out there that aren't considered auditors or cop watchers too, that are patriots and that are trying to make change and all that too. So I think that's kind of a loaded question.
I get you. D-Man, what do you think?
I don't know. Uh, I don't think it's the same. I mean, it's a different time, of course, different different circumstances. But I don't know. I kind of look at it as like that's how everybody should be. Everybody should just know. Everybody should know that, and everybody should just live their lives in that. You when those auditors go and do it, they're talking to someone who either it's weird. It's either the vibe I get is that either they don't know it or they know it, and they're expecting you not to know it so they can manipulate rules or the Constitution to get what they want. Like I said earlier, uh, manifesting. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yes, no, yeah, no, I heard what you were saying about that earlier. It's
I
so true.
I just look at it as like we should all know these things. It was taught in school a long time ago. Everybody knew it, and it was everybody knew it, and we all kept in our lanes, and everyone kept civil, and there was no problems, and you didn't need to have all these these regulations and all these departments and all these people overseeing everything we're doing, because no one's screwing up. We're just doing our thing in our own time, and we know our boundaries. You know, there's some people in this world that don't know their boundaries at all whenever they do anything, and I think that those are the people that you would expect them to focus on and say, hey, you're stepping out of line, you know what I mean? Like keeping everybody where I'm doing things that I don't have to worry about people watching me because I'm not doing anything wrong. And if everybody kind of had that mentality, but it's kind of depressing to see them kind of going at people who live their lives that way and then manifesting them into criminals. That's what bothers me about that.
I did something magical for you just now for you to put up as a short on one of your channels, Rogue. You should watch the last few minutes. See, this is, it's almost making me want to cry, but I have had a few drinks. It's just, well, I fight so many battles against trolls that it's really refreshing to meet you guys.
Yeah, no troll.
All right, so can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
It's just,
Yeah, you're
yes,
back.
sir.
and I'll
Welcome
let
back
you-
to your own panel.
Did you
I
refill the
know.
balloons from the antenna?
just
No,
in closing, what we were talking about, Rogue, before you, it's just, Toe says he knows who I am, but like, I've been fighting for over 5 years against people that hate these people and want to destroy them, right? And it's weird to come up on a panel where people are like, yeah, these are good guys. So I appreciate that.
yeah, man.
Rogue, I just
Absolutely.
want you to know. I just want you to know, Rogue, that while you were gone, I showed my willy on your panel, but it was so small no one could see it, so you won't get YouTube won't do nothing about
He
it.
didn't do anything like that. Don't believe a
I,
word.
I, I was gonna say there's no magnification feature.
Huh? All we saw was a black screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I can only pinch and expand so much,
I know, right?
exactly. Listen, these
That's what I think.
these devices
That's what I-
don't have Hubble telescope type kind of
Yeah.
look.
Right.
Look, Miss Rummy, that's what I think every time I go take a pee. I can't pinch it so far.
Pinch and expand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
That's funny stuff. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Listen, guys, I'm gonna wind this down because my computer's acting up and my wife's wondering where I'm at if I died. But
Nice talking, brother.
yeah, no, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. And obviously, the lawsuit updates at the very beginning of the video. If you missed it, just rewind it to the beginning. It's not very long.
Yeah, I'm gonna check
And
it out.
there's going to be all kinds of good stuff coming out. So, I mean, it's the same as it always is. We'll keep pushing and keep trying, and they'll keep fighting and trying to deny. And it's just the way the game goes, I guess.
The process is the punishment.
Exactly.
It's very
And the
punishing.
fee.
Yep.
So, but it's nice to have like-minded people to fight it with. So I appreciate all that. I appreciate you guys for being with me while I do it. So,
No problem.
Well, we
I got
appreciate
stopped.
you, Russ.
Sorry.
We
do
you.
appreciate you. Yeah, we do.
And everything that you stand for and everything you fight for. And I want to thank you.
Much love,
Absolutely.
much respect.
Yeah, man. I love you guys too, man. I like I said, I know you guys. I see your names in the chat all the time, every day, everywhere. So I appreciate you folks.
I wouldn't say I love you, but I say you're the best we have.
Well, I don't particularly love you either, brother. But you know what I mean. No,
Yeah. I got pulled over by the cops a couple weeks ago, but I think I have this bad feeling in my mind that I was a dick to somebody on your panel last time I was up here, so I didn't want to bother you. But I did get stopped by the police at a road stop, and they let me go. I was a bit of a dick.
Nice.
So if you want to see the video, I'll send you the Rumble the links.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll check it out. It's
All right.
always
Yeah,
cool.
but if you do highlight it, which I am a perfectly, I'm Creative Commons.
Yeah.
Don't put my name in there. Just say, "Oh, I found this video from a random guy."
I don't even think I remember your name, 10th. I
Good.
just know you as 10th.
No, you don't
And
even
I'm
know
cool.
10th.
And I'm cool with that.
Good.
But all right, guys, I'm gonna let everybody go. Thanks for coming out.
Peace.
And yeah, we'll see everybody again very soon.
Toodles, bitches.
Later. And
Oh my
thanks
God.
everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody in the comment section. Tommy Wood, thank you, buddy, for stopping out. Always a pleasure to see you, Tommy. Tommy and me hung out when I was out in South Cal a couple of years ago. I've met so many good people in this community, man. It's such a pleasure. Snap Phase, Chuck Bronson. Chuck Bronson I met down there in Indianapolis at the beginning of the pandemic. Um, and then later me and Chuck went and we caught a pedophile guy. I did a sting where I set up a dude like a predator catcher down in Indy, and Chuck Bronson and Hoosier News Now were my backup. So we've been through all kinds of crazy shit, all of us. So I thank you guys for being there with me. All right, guys, have a great night.